What's up, everyone? It is 8 PST on this Thursday. I hope you are all having an amazing start to your day. Obviously, even some crazy history happening today. If you obviously follow us, SpaceX, they're doing the first commercial private citizen did a spacewalk today. So I'm pumped from that. And I couldn't be more pumped from that, just leading into the discussion that we are about to have. It's really just going to be sharing a little bit about an app that I personally use and love. It's called DIMO. It's an app that you need to know about. We're going to be talking with the CEO and co-founder Rob Solomon from the DIMO team. And we're going to just get into some of his Tesla history about DIMO, some of the big announcements that Tesla has had. And he's just going to share and just brain dump all of his knowledge to us. And so hopefully you can be more informed and more equipped and find out about an app that is just going to help you earn rewards while you drive your Tesla. So let's bring in Rob. How's it going, Rob?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for your time. For those of you that don't know, Rob is actually on the East Coast. So it's crazy. It's almost noon his time. So thank you for your time today. But tell us a little bit about DIMO. Let's just kind of get into that. And then actually you have some pretty cool Tesla stories as well, some cool history there. But just, for our audience that may not know about DIMO and what you do, just tell us a little bit about what the app does and how it can benefit Tesla owners.
Yeah, so the DIMO mobile app's a great way to connect any car from any automaker. Tesla owners are a bit spoiled. You have good Tesla apps already. A lot of other automakers, people with other cars don't. We can actually connect even older cars back to 2008 with a device like this. This is our sneak peek of the not yet announced next generation hardware device. That's going to be really great. Tesla owners, not only do you not need it, we recommend you don't have it. The amount of data that we get from Teslas is really great, but we'll talk more about kind of the integration there. But yeah, so this is good for connecting older cars. And once you're connected, you can do all kinds of things to take control of your data. You can see all this information about your car. You can earn rewards every week that you stay connected and access other applications in the marketplace. So taking a step back, DIMO is meant to be much more than just a mobile app. It's a platform for anybody to build apps for any car across any automaker. So we want to make it very easy for car insurance company, rental car company, online car community, whatever it is, to easily connect to any car in the world in a very secure and trusted way, access its data, not just its data, but also like send lock and unlock commands to the car ignition. Eventually other automakers will catch up and there will be some summon features as well, things like that you could send as commands to the car. And then also commerce too. Commerce is super outdated. You have like paper forms, fax machines. You're giving your credit card over the phone to an insurance broker. Like, we can make all of that much more modern, programmable, digital, built on crypto rails, all of that. So that's what DIMO is in a nutshell. And Tesla is one of the best experiences you can have on DIMO.
Well, tell me a little bit about you. You were actually just kind of debriefing a really cool story, but tell us a little bit about your background with Tesla and even this, it sounds like big purchase that had happened that you were a part of.
Yeah, well, I've always been a big fan of it. I was lucky this was back in 2012. I was working on a urban revitalization project in downtown Vegas with Zappos. And one of our projects was to start an all Tesla car share. We put down at that time, the largest single order for Teslas. It might even still be, I don't know. We placed an order, definitely not actually. I think Hertz beat us. For 100 Teslas. And we took delivery of about 20 of them. The project didn't end up working out, but for a while I got to be driving a Model S. I'm like 22 years old for $50 a month. That was more torque.
$50 a month? That's crazy.
More torque than you would necessarily want to give a 22-year-old living in Las Vegas. But that was awesome. Elon came out a few times and just kind of been a fan ever since. Picked up some Tesla stock because of that whole experience driving those cars and all. So that's ended up being great. So yeah, been a fan for a long time. Unfortunately, living in New York City, don't own a Tesla. My brother does. Some of our employees do. I would, and I am looking to get a car here in a little bit. We just had our first baby a couple months ago. And so it's time to start thinking about Model Ys and Model X's at this point, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I know a little bit about, obviously I know a little bit about city living as far as like San Francisco and stuff. So it makes sense why you would probably not need a car, at least in San Francisco. It's more expensive to like pay for parking than it sometimes is to even own the car. So, but congrats on the new baby, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I do own a car, but it would just be parking outside the city. I had it a couple months ago. I was parking it in the West Village, and I came back to my car with 2 hydrant tickets and a smashed rear windshield. So it's like, that's my sign to get this thing out of here.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the hello in San Francisco nowadays is a bashed window. But tell us a little bit about, Tesla has just made some pretty big announcements, and how does that what was that announcement, and how does that obviously impact the integration of DIMO and what you guys are doing?
I give Tesla a ton of credit here. The connected mobility as a category has so much promise, but has been stunted for so long by just kind of bad execution. I liken it to, you can think of it like smartphones again, right? And we know the value that these kind of open platforms can provide. There's a million use cases you could think of. We can go into start listing them off for connected mobility. But when every car is barely connected to the automaker, and all the data is siloed just there, and the insurance companies can't access it, and the rental car companies can't access it, Uber can't access it, and you can't access it, then very little can happen. It's kind of like when you had like an LG Dare on Verizon, it came with some Verizon bloatware apps, and that was it. And that was like your it's not a smartphone. No one even called it smartphones at that point. And Tesla definitely put itself into the BlackBerry category. It was definitely an upgrade, some very smart features, real step forward in terms of innovation. But really, I think that the main thing that made the iPhone different was the App Store from the BlackBerry and all the different things you could do with it. And Tesla is now taking that next step to say, it's great that we can provide you a lot of good experiences. Tesla Insurance, a great app that you could summon the car, all these really smart features for your car. But now let's open that up to developers to build more interesting things for you. So DIMO is one of many developers that they are opening that access to initially, and they'll probably expand that in the future. So I really commend them for that. I think Mark Zuckerberg had a good take on this when the Vision Pro came out, which was computers were defined by open innovation. Anybody could build an app for computers. Apple came along and kind of defined this closed permissioned model for building apps for iPhone users, 30% app tax. They can restrict what's in the store. They kick Epic Games out. They kind of bully people around. And Mark was making the case for Metaverse to be open again and to allow people to permissionlessly innovate in Metaverse and not have one company own it. And that was his pitch for Facebook versus Apple when it came to the Quest headset. And the same thing goes for connected mobility. And it could either be a world in which Tesla says, we're just going to build all these apps and experiences ourselves and forget any other automaker. But instead, they're going with a more open route. And that's especially important here because it's not like smartphones where you just have iPhone and Android. Developers can't build a parking garage that works for Tesla's, GM, Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, like all of those things, and build unique integrations to every single one of those things. It's already bad enough to build an iPhone and an Android app. To build like 50 different apps or 50 different connections to all these different automakers is totally impossible. So that's really what DIMO is here to do. So we integrate with Tesla, we'll integrate with all the other automakers as well. And that way, if people want to build applications for you as a Tesla owner or you as a Volkswagen owner, they can do that easily on our platform in a secure way.
Why do you think that this is so important for like mobility platforms? Like why is this a game changer? I mean, you kind of said it before. It's like, a lot of these other legacy OEMs, they own that data altogether and you don't even have access to it. So now that Tesla is opening this up, how is this big for mobility platforms?
Yeah. We'll start with like, there's existing markets, emerging markets, and like entirely new markets, right? So for existing markets, you have insurance, dealerships, rental car companies, ride hailing, all these companies operating with limited data. If you've gotten insurance, Tesla insurance is a little bit better, but if you've called up Geico, right, you're talking to a broker, they ask you, how many miles do you think you're going to drive? And you're like, I don't know, 12,000. And they underwrite you. Like, it's so primitive. This is like 1950s stuff. And you have to sign forms. Like, why are we doing this? They could be giving you, one of the companies interested in building a DIMO would use your data combined with AI to go out and give you a safe driver score, and then also help you to find the best insurance based on your driving and demographic data. So that's like one example for how we can just make these existing markets more efficient. A lot of people get insurance one time. It's going to spend like thousands of dollars on it, $4,000 a year, $2,600 a year is the average on, and they never check back in to get a new quote. They maybe get a quote from 3 different companies when they do it. So it's all very inefficient. So we can make these existing $1 trillion markets a lot more efficient. 2 would be emerging markets. So we've got self-driving, we've got electrification, we've got AI kind of starting to emerge here in mobility. And these industries will be built much better if they can be built on connected mobility from the start. Electrification, think about the cars talking to the chargers, people being able to reserve chargers when they're on their way to a station, being able to pay directly from the vehicle, more interoperability, knowing where to even build these infrastructure, the bits of infrastructure in the first place is important. Self-driving, vehicles talking to other vehicles from different automakers, vehicles talking to sensors that are off board, coordinating together to turn the light screen before you get there. Like, you can do really cool things if we build this new infrastructure with connected mobility. And then 3rd would be entirely new use cases. So imagine like totally online social car communities and parking garages that talk to your vehicle and help it self auto valet and stream its payment wallets in there. There's so many cool things that we can build that just aren't possible today. That's actually, funny enough, that was the original idea for DIMO. I know you're in Silicon Valley. Our original founder, Andy, one of our original co-founders, Andy Chatham, was in Palo Alto, and he was looking to retrofit a parking garage with sensors, 3D map the parking garage, understand where all the open spots are, and have you pull up to the garage, get out of your car, give permission to the garage to drive your vehicle for you, and it would send signals to your car to go park itself. And maybe your Tesla comes in and it moves the Toyota out of the way to make room, and then your car pays for itself and it valets back out. But there was no ability to access connected mobility to build such a thing, kind of what led to the idea for DIMO in the first place.
Yeah, how, it's really, really interesting to just talk about kind of how Tesla has opened this up. I think that this is going to be like, I think this is just the start. And really, as you said, kind of when you were kind of giving the whole like Apple versus like, let's say the Meta kind of different mindsets, how do you think this is going to improve like Tesla ownership or the whole Tesla experience? Because I think that is obviously something on people's minds. And I think this is actually like a sleeper as far as the news goes. This is something that people don't realize how big of an impact that this is and how big of an announcement this was. Because it's not like in Tesla fashion, they're moving at such a fast clip. They don't have time to kind of like go back and be like, hey, look at what we've accomplished. Look at what we're doing. They do make these announcements, but they don't, stand on top of the Empire State Building in your case, like, shouting it, right? It's like they're moving really fast. It's like, boom, here's an announcement, and then they keep moving. But this is,
I agree.
This is news that's a sleeper. So how do you think, like, for Tesla owners, how is this going to potentially improve their overall ownership experience?
Yeah, different than other automakers. It's funny, we talk about, there's a lot of some of the early projects building on DIMO are insurance and maintenance related, and Tesla owners are like, I don't need maintenance. I use Tesla insurance. What is it? I mean, so Tesla owners already have a lot of great apps, and we'll keep using smartphones as an example because it's easy. Apple builds a lot of great apps for the iPhone. I like their Notes app. I like the calculator, whatever. Good mail app, sure. But nobody would want to only use the Apple apps, right? And so what Tesla, what?
I said facts because they're
Yeah,
just, they only do so much. And a lot of times they're still way behind the competition on what's out there.
sure. And so Tesla is, like Elon in general, part of his ethos is more open guy. And they recognize that people can build valuable apps, experiences, communities, whatever, for their owners and give them more value for their vehicle, help to give them new experiences, monetize their data, whatever it is for them, if they just allow third parties to access. And that's just like smart for any ecosystem, right? You can just build more when you allow more people to build. And so what this will do for Tesla owners is it will mean that you won't be limited to only the types of experiences that Tesla can build firsthand, but everything that everybody else can build. And the other nice benefit too is it allows people to build experiences that are interoperable with other automakers. So even if you're having a great time as a Tesla owner, you still probably want systems that communicate with other cars on the road as well. If you're coordinating traffic, for example, you want to be able to interoperate with other cars that are causing traffic, reporting traffic, communicating with sensors about traffic, about route planning, that kind of stuff, right? So it's again, as popular as Tesla is, it's a very fragmented market. There's lots of different automakers out there, and as many Cybertrucks and Model 3s as you see on the road, they still make up a minority. It's not like iPhone and Android, where it's all Samsung, Google, and Apple. So yeah, we'll see kind of an explosion of innovation around these use cases. We'll see ecosystems and applications and services that are very comprehensive. We'll see existing incumbent enterprises, rental car companies, taxi companies, et cetera, being able to build things for all automakers and being more encouraged to do so because they can now access them all in a uniform and secure way. And so Tesla's doing that directly with their developer platform, and DIMO is providing that kind of for all automakers, including Tesla.
Yeah, and obviously, getting access even to the data of the car. Obviously, as you know, that there's a lot of, there's a lot of data on there, a lot of things that, a lot of user information on there, and obviously privacy is a big concern nowadays, right? And so how is DIMO handling that? I know that's obviously one of your guys' core values as well. And so how are you guys managing that? And I think a huge part of it, and why I'm a big fan of DIMO, is that you guys also, you guys empower the users to kind of control their own data. But tell us a little bit about how, as this open integration has happened, how you are handling the user's information.
Yeah, that is one of our core pillars of this technology. And it's funny, Sawyer Merritt, he tweeted about this news, and the post kind of blew up, and the comments were mostly positive, but there was a lot of data privacy concerns and security concerns, and it's felt bad because it's that's actually one of our strengths. We just, I guess, didn't communicate that very well in the announcement. But the whole idea with DIMO is that the driver controls who accesses their data. And I don't blame people for being skeptical. There's been so many examples of gross privacy violations, and I think we're all kind of used to it with social media companies and internet and whatever. But I think automotive took it a step further when people found out that their OEMs were selling their data to their insurance company and their insurance rates were going up. That's another level of betrayal, I guess, in privacy. So we really want to take this hard in the other direction, which is to say your data is only ever shared with people that you opt into sharing with. It's very much like when you download an app and it's do you want to share your location? Do you want to share your Bluetooth? Do you want to allow the app to track you? And you have to accept it each time. Very similar with DIMO. Your data is only shared when you opt into doing it. We don't, despite the fact that you earn rewards each week for connecting, we're not selling the data. It's just kind of coming out of token emissions. And over time, demand for the applications built on DIMO will start to bring in the revenue that will make that long-term sustainable. But yep, the privacy aspect is important there. Also, it's being built on blockchain. It's a decentralized protocol. And what that means is we can take the cryptography and the statefulness of blockchain to make this so that it's provably enforceable and very secure from like a can't forge a signature kind of way. And we're giving users a very good user experience while still giving them kind of those blockchain guarantees.
And it sounds like too, Teslas are like the most used cars on your platform, right? I think you have like almost like a quarter or like 25-30%, something like that. 25,000 out of the 110, I think, is the stat I heard. But
yeah, it's about there.
What is, why do you think, Tesla owners are wanting to jump on this platform in such a big way? I mean, when I heard that stat, it just kind of, I mean, I can understand after using the app why, more users would want it. But how did you guys get such a big Tesla population? Why do you think they're jumping on board?
Yeah, there's a few reasons. One, the data that we get from Teslas, because of all the approach that they've taken here, is very good. So the rewards are higher than other cars that connect just with software, like 4 times higher than if you connected a Ford with FordPass right now. And we'd love to get, we'll talk to Ford, we'd love to get a direct integration with them and get more data there and bring them into the fold and increase their rewards as well. But right now, Teslas, because of the integration, earn the most of any of the software connected vehicles. People who connect with hardware, we can get even more data from, and they can earn more in certain cases. But Tesla users can connect for free very quickly and earn quite a bit. The other thing is Tesla owners actually know their email and password to their Tesla login because they use it. Every Tesla owner uses the Tesla app, right? Because why wouldn't you? It does some valuable things. Some other automakers need to catch up, and a lot of their users, I talked to a lot of people who have, I won't name names, but they have the app from their automaker and they don't know the password because they haven't logged into it in 2 years. They don't even know if they still have the subscription because it came with a free subscription, right? And they never bothered. Maybe they use it to unlock the car doors remotely or make sure it's locked or something like that, but they don't really find a lot of value otherwise. So that's another kind of funny one. And then lastly, I think there's just a thing where Tesla owners are more tech forward, they're more likely to embrace bleeding edge things and all that. They want to understand the value of connected mobility in a car app. And to be frank, our mobile app there's definitely a lot of overlap with the Tesla app already. There's not a ton that we offer today that you can't already get in the Tesla app. We're working on it. Right now, the focus is on just super smooth onboarding, hiding all the blockchain wires. If you download the app today, you're still going to see some wallet stuff. We're working to eliminate that and just make it super smooth. It'll still be there, just secure and in the background. And then right after that, we're getting right back to what features can we add that are net new and valuable to people like Tesla owners. So that's how we can make the app more beneficial. But already the ecosystem of people building apps on DIMO is adding more value to Tesla owners. For example, there's one partner that's launching relatively soon that will help users get thousands of dollars in cash, up to that, could be thousands of dollars in cash for EV charging, kind of carbon offset rebates, just using your data, file everything on your behalf. It's like a federal program in the US. And so that's a good example of something that can be built at a speed that Tesla can't just do themselves or wouldn't necessarily do themselves. Someone comes along, uses that charging data for Tesla owners and other electric vehicle owners to save you lots of money. So we want to find more and more of these things that are net new that aren't already covered by the Tesla app that add value to Tesla owners.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that you mentioned too, just how Tesla owners can be kind of more tech savvy or more innovative. I mean, I remember in the Silicon Valley, growing up in this area, just seeing like over the past 10, 15 years, how Teslas have just pretty much taken over because people want the most advanced vehicle on the road, right? And now it's gotten to affordability, but even when you still compare it to some of the other legacy auto companies, it's still not quite up to par, especially like in Europe. You don't get that same experience where there's a lot of things, regulations. So it seems like autopilot is at parity now with a lot of those other companies. But here, you turn on FSD versus if I get in to, you know, my even Silverado EV. It's not going to have autopilot or some of these other things that that your Tesla's capable of. One question: what makes up the rest of your ecosystem outside of Teslas? Because obviously Teslas. So do you have like non-EVs on your platform, or what you know, what other car companies or what other car owners can get access to DIMO as well?
Pretty much all of them. Yeah, we have it's pretty much any car 2008 and up is generally what's supported. If your car is older and doesn't come with an app from the automaker, you can buy the hardware device at DIMO.co. Most, not all, but most more modern cars where you have, let's say, the Ford Pass app or My BMW or something like that, you can go to our app right now and you can add your vehicle just by typing in the email and password and connect it that way. And for non-Tesla owners, because that software integration isn't quite as robust, you can also buy the hardware and earn more and get more data. Tesla owners, frankly, just don't need the hardware. And one, and two, it's a little bit harder to get access to that OBD port. It's kind of hidden behind some trim, so we don't recommend it. It technically works, but there's no reason to do it. So yeah, any car can connect. We have all kinds of vehicles. We have a lot of cars in the US, Canada, and Europe, which is where it's officially supported, including Turkey in there as well, the UK, Switzerland, which is of course Europe, but not the EU. So that's where we operate today. We're looking to expand. We have business partners interested in taking us into South America, Asia, Australia, other regions that we're actively exploring. The idea with a decentralized platform is that anybody can launch it anywhere. And we're working to make that even easier so people can launch in other countries. We just can't, as a company, the Digital Infrastructure Inc., the labs entity, can't support every region, but others can. So yeah, we're looking to expand as quickly as possible, go back even further than 2008 in terms of what we support, although that's going to take a little bit of time. The reason for that is that the CAN bus in vehicles, the OBD port, started to standardize around that time. So it's just harder to guarantee that we'd be able to get good data for cars older than that, but we're working on it.
No, that's amazing that so many cars can get connected. But, you know, you've mentioned a couple of things in the works for, you know, Tesla owners and kind of more of the capabilities with DIMO. Can you share a little bit more about that and kind of like some of the things that are upcoming for Tesla owners on the DIMO app?
Yeah, so in our app today, I encourage everyone, while you're listening to this, you could download it and add your Tesla in a couple of minutes. I swear there's no catch. We're not selling your data. It's very secure. Our team, so I have a bit of a blockchain background. I come from Consensus, but before that I was at Vroom.com, so automotive e-commerce. And a lot of our engineers, our CTO worked at Ford, Mitsubishi, Volkswagen, GM. He was part of OnStar and Ford autonomous vehicles. We got good technology here. It's well built kind of on the back end. Encourage everyone to try it out. The mobile app today will allow Tesla owners to see tire pressure, lock, unlock, open and close, or not close. You can open the trunk and trunk. It doesn't have power closing, as you probably know for a lot of models. You can see some basic charging information, odometer, vehicle valuation. You can get instant cash offers to sell your car to a handful of different kind of dealer groups. And you can see the other applications in our marketplace. That tax credit, it's not a tax credit, the carbon offset cash back one that I mentioned would be launching relatively soon in the marketplace. So they'll be able to access things like that and earn rewards each week. And as I mentioned, Teslas earn pretty solid rewards because of the amount of data that we get. So that's what they can expect in the app today. And then again, as I mentioned, in the future, it's all about what's net new, what's valuable. There's showing users their data back, which is fine, but like, how can we make that data interesting and useful to you? So not just telling you how many miles you've driven, and if your car is in good health, like what's that car worth then based on all of that? And how can we help you sell it if you want to and get the best offer for it possible, get you upgraded into a new car? How can we help you get lots of insurance quotes all at once? how can we help you track all of your trips and optimize your charging and all kinds of stuff, and check the health of your battery and see if it's degrading faster than it should and that kind of stuff. So that's the things that we're going to be looking to explore next and start adding throughout Q4, Q1. Say connect now, and you'll just see the updates stream in.
So since we have you here, so how part of the question would be, how can you take most advantage of the DIMO app? Because I think there's a lot of things that it's doing like proactively. And again, I think people think that, oh, well, opening up, let's say opening it up, this integration that Tesla is going to have issues with privacy, but being built on the blockchain, that's literally what Bitcoin and all this other, Web3 is all about. And so, really the question is like, how can you take most advantage of the app and get the most out of it?
Well, it starts with connecting your car, obviously. And people connect for different reasons. Some people just interested in the rewards aspect of it, and that's totally fine. We're aware that a lot of people are doing that today. And our goal as a company is to give you more and more reasons to connect otherwise, such that it's like the rewards are great, but I'm really here for all the savings I'm getting with all these different carbon offset, cashback, easily pay for parking, sell my car super easily, buy some aftermarket accessories, whatever. Join a totally online Tesla car club where I can compare all kinds of interesting stats and see leaderboards and mint NFTs that show I've visited different national parks with my Tesla, whatever. You can do all kinds of very fun things in this ecosystem. So the app today, join for whatever it is now. A lot of people use apps like Tessie, Teslafy, Tesla, and in a way, it's sort of like that, another third-party app to manage and view your Tesla, and we'll add more and more features over time. We also encourage people, if they want to build applications for Teslas, it's one of the easiest ways to do it, or any car, really. We have a developer platform. You can pretty easily obtain a developer license, very inexpensive. It's like a couple bucks. Right now, it's going to be $100 relatively soon, but for now, it's a couple bucks at console.dimo.xyz. And we have these developer docs. You can easily get started and build whatever you want. And that wouldn't be in our mobile app. That would be in whatever website or app you build.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're getting me a little bit excited about, not a little bit, but excited about what's possible. I mean, it sounds like, DIMO, again, where it's headed and what you can get access to today. It's really kind of like a one-stop shop. And I love that because, at the end of the day, it's like you're downloading apps or having to go to other websites for a lot of the things that can be essentially managed and handled within the DIMO ecosystem, right? So
yeah, we really view ourselves as an enabler of that ecosystem. So it's like anytime you go to any maintenance shop or insurance company or whatever, you're not typing in your VIN and the odometer and all kinds of other stuff. You're just like clicking allow. You're seeing like it wants to see these things. You click allow. It's better for you. It's easier. Two, it's better for the company. There's so much fraud and mistakes when people are typing in all these things. They're operating with bad information. They can build better products. They can build more. They can trust the data better and digitize more. So better all around. We're just trying to modernize the rails, give a kind of modern protocol to connected vehicles. And we're really glad that Tesla is a company that seems to see the value in opening up that connectivity.
So don't want to break the internet today, but is there anything else, like any other large announcements that you can share or partnerships coming up to get our audience a little bit excited? Obviously, share what you can.
There is a good amount, but I don't want to get in trouble with our marketing team. I'll let them kind of roll it out. But it's going to be a fun Q4 for us. I already kind of spoiled the other hardware device, which is not really interesting for Tesla owners at all. But compared to our existing devices, it's way cheaper, great data, and easier to install. It's a really solid device, and the pre-sale will open for that relatively soon. But until then, stay tuned for more announcements.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob, so much for your time today, for just, what DIMO's doing. Because I think, again, it's there's a lot of apps out there. And so enabling and opening up access to a lot of those things, especially some of these credits and rewards, is going to be huge. So if you're watching on X or YouTube or Facebook, again, the link is posted. Make sure you get connected, download the app, get your Tesla connected. It's important to, really just get access to things that you should already have access to. And again, DIMO protects your data. So it's not, based on the fact that it's built on the blockchain. So thank you again, Rob, for your time. Really appreciate it. And, I'm really excited to see more of our owners, even as part of our club, but really just our audience get connected and share their experiences of how DIMO is really just, helping them earn rewards, but just enabling them to do more.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you again shortly, but we really appreciate it. Again, DIMO is tagged, and you can download the app throughout the YouTube description, or the X handle is tagged. So we will see you next time, and have a great week, everyone.